Hi, so we were doing that 12 bar in B. So we got B7 as the one chord, and then we're using the E-shaped bar chord on the 7th fret, and then we're using the A7 shaped bar chord on the 7th fret for the 4 chord, which is E, E7, and then take that up 2 frets to the 9th fret for F#7. So those are our 3 chords, and the basic was this shuffle feel, this 12/8 feel, and we were going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I was speeding it up there a bit for demonstration purposes, but yeah, we can do it more at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're strumming on the 1 and the 4. I'm counting to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the 1, you've got a gentle full strum, which you let sustain. And then on the 4, you've got a harder strum, which you make staccato or choke by releasing the pressure on the fretting hand. Yeah, so you've got doing a bar chord, so you're pressing down on the strings, and then you release the pressure, but don't release the pressure before you've actually strummed. So allow yourself to strum and then release the pressure. Yeah, and then just with a bit of practice, you'll get the timing right and you'll get that short staccato stab. Okay, so that's the basis. Yeah, so if I go through that, let's say let's say I go through the 12 bar, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Okay, so that's your 12 bar, and work on just keeping that beat. Yeah, play with a metronome or a drum beat, and just keeping that, and then you can add to it, because that's your foundation. Yeah, just keeping in time. And you saw my hand moving from the wrist, not from the elbow, because even though it's a really slow tempo, I'm doing downstrokes, whether I'm touching the strings or not. I'm doing downstrokes on the triplets, so I keep my hand moving, because that's my metronome, that's how I keep in time, and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that hand, your rhythm hand, your strumming hand, is moving all the time, yeah, to keep you in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then we had started to look at embellishments. So just to make things a bit more interesting, every time we're going to do a chord change, I'm going to simplify this. from what I was doing previously. So every time we do a chord change, we're going to go to the chord a semitone above and then go into the chord that we're aiming for. So I'm going to go from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, yeah? Rather than just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you're doing a little extra strum because you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're doing an extra strum on beat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, as normal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the extra strum comes on beat 6. Just a little one, not a hard one. And it's on the chord that's a semitone above the chord we're aiming for. So I've gone from B7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And I'm aiming for my 4 chord, which is E7. So I'm getting that chord just before it, which is a semitone up from E, which is F. Okay, so I've got B7, a quick F7 down to E7. Yeah, it's a passing chord. Yeah, and it works because we're using dominant chords, dominant 7 chords, and the function of dominant 7 chords, it gives you dissonance and tension, musical tension, and so you can add to that musical tension by actually playing, instead of those notes, sort of all the wrong notes just for a little while. If you stayed on that chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that just doesn't sound right. But if it resolves down to the notes you want it to go to, down to the 4 chord, then it sounds fine. Yeah, and it adds to the interest rather than just going from the 1 chord to the 4 chord. So, hope that's alright. I just demonstrate again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. And if you wanted to, you could do it coming back to the 1 chord. You don't have to. You can overkill these things. So you could just do it going to the 4 chord and go back to the 1 chord as normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Okay, good. Then finally, there were just some embellishments on the actual chords themselves. So we had an embellishment on the 1 chord, which was just a really simple one at first, which is instead of doing, and I'm doing the chord like this with the bar chord, but of course you can put the thumb over and get the bass like that. Bar, the D, G and B strings, and then have your second finger on the next fret to get that major third. So you've got root, flat 7, major third, 5th, and then if you want to get that note, you can, with the first finger, just flatten it or keep it flat. It's quite difficult to keep it flat and get the thumb over as well. But if you wanted to, when you're just aiming for those top strings, thin strings, you can actually flatten the finger, the first finger, so that you can press down on that top E string. And you can do that, and then you don't need the thumb to be pressing down on the low E string at that point, because you're just aiming your pick at the top strings. Yeah, so you could be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So whatever you're used to. I'm not so used to playing with my thumb over the top, but that Hendrix thing of putting the thumb over the top and doing like a triad shape for the rest of the chord, it's really useful because you've got more movement of the fingers rather than if you're doing a full bar chord. So in some circumstances and sometimes some circumstances I will use the thumb over the top, but just for this one I'm using a bar chord, so whichever one you prefer. So whether you use the thumb over the top one, what I'm doing is adding just this little embellishment of hammering on from the minor third to the major third, typical blues thing. So if I've got this chord shape, then it's going to sound like that. If I've got this chord shape, this fingering. Yeah, and I'm just going to do it the first time. Again, I'm not going to do overkill. Just the first time I hit the chord. And then another embellishment of the chord, we can make it, that's a B7. We can make it a B9 by adding the 9th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is the 9th fret on the top E string. So we've got a free little finger, so you can just put it on the 9th fret of the top E string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for the 4 chord, instead of playing a simple dominant 7, we could play a 9, dominant 9. And you can either just get those top 4 strings with that shape, 3rd finger barring top 3 strings, and 1st finger on the fret below on the D string. Or the full shape, so for an E9, I've got my 3rd finger on the 7th fret barring the top 3 strings, 1st finger on the 6th fret of the D string, and 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the A string, which is the note E. And just as we were doing that with the dominant 7 shape, we can do that chromatic movement with the 9th shape, the dominant 9 shape. So, the embellishments 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So far, that's it, okay? Okay, and we'll carry on with embellishments to the rest of the 12 bar in the next video. Okay, hope that helps.